Good evening, folks. It's 9:59 a.m. I should say 9:59 p.m. and it's 7th, 9th month, 2023. Boy, a little tongue-tied there. See if we can pull the live video up and see if we've got live here. Good, good, it's working. Great. Turn that volume down on the phone and let's get cracking. All right, Newcastle is fired. You see a big beam sweat here. It's gone all the way up into the river of moisture, where another beam has come down to meet it and divert some of this moisture to make it cascade on down here, very in a relaxed manner, right down from the tropics all over Queensland to this corridor here. And it's well cascading down now. A good bit of this moisture is going to be diverted up towards the north, and a fair bit of it in this section here is already on its way down in this direction here. And I can see it very, very easily if I go up here into the tropics. You can see where the sweat has come through. And it's caused a flow line diversion where some things will start to come down in a different direction than the others. And here's your boiler line right into here. They're actually backfilling it with more chem. In an hour or so, you'll never notice that gap. Yeah, the EMF beams have been manipulating this weather quite openly today. As I'll give you a little bit of a roll through here, some of the combination of it all, like this here, right? It's an obvious combine deployment of some sorts there, of which we deserve an honest answer of what is in it. You know, that's I get asked that question, what's exactly in it, Robert? And I go, and that's something we all deserve an honest answer to, right? We do. Are we allowed to freely fly up at that altitude anytime we want without announcing we're going to do it to see what that is? No. There's a lot of rules. It'll shoot you down if you try, right? Because you ain't got permission. As dams go by. I'm just watching this one area get continually bombed over this 4-hour period that has been covered here during all these little leapings back and forth here. See the dots right there? Boom, boom. Not those three going by. Of course, it's loading up the screen in an area. You can see that other pattern here we're familiar with, like the flower of death and a Mason's compass, and you see it. But they're very, very predictable flows. We could just say the letter A. Now you got a flow line diversion here in these islands. See, so the low deck is moving north, while this main plume stays with that but moves south. Right? This is a propelled craft can do that. Drone swarms. It's amazing what they can do with drone swarms and how synchronized they can be. Anybody been watching some of those nighttime displays of the drones over the harbors of the world will understand fully what I'm talking about, and how much area could they cover if the drones were bigger. A lot. How much money does the military and the deep state itself have to spend? All the money in the world, because they just keep printing it. They control that part. And so a lot of people getting rich making the toys they're using to deploy this stuff, that's for sure. But it's a lot of plausible deniability. But you can't deny what your eyeballs are seeing here as not being a naturally occurring cloud formation. Right? The clouds are real and they're forming in a way that scientists have learned how to reproduce the natural conditions using chemical catalysts, microwaves, and well, other methods. You get lasers directing energy, if you will. And while this big beam is fired off the coast today of this crime scene here, and it is, and so I'll go over a bit of your forecast and give the good news for you. Get about at least 24 hours break coming there in New Zealand. Take good advantage of it. I'm not agreeing with the mainstream forecast. You got a beam sweat through here still. See that energized area is still active that I showed the other day. And that was that beam that Blenheim fired. Kept that area, cloudless. Right? The only cloud you get in there are the bombs going off. Had to continue the propagation of the waveform itself. You see that formation there? Bomb, 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 bombed again. Bomb, 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 bombed again. Bombed your air from here to there. Toxic air. Boom, boom, boom. They got a booming and a pluming, booming and a pluming you again. Bomb, 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 bombed your air. Bomb, 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 bombed your air. Look at it. It's like a face. boogeyman. The old boogeyman. He'll probably steal the boogers out your nose if you let him. That's just bomb clusters 10 minutes later. Until 10 minutes before. See, it's not a condensation trail that would dissipate. Ooh, a little missing data there. Hi, there's nothing to see. It's 2 days in a row. That's done that. Triple shot. Back 10 minutes. It's flying in formation, man. Now forward 10s. Something just shoots out. Right? See, from here to here, just hi. Nah, make the square. Hey, bomb it again. Boom, make a pair of dice. Roll them dice. Who gets the snake eyes and who are the snakes? That is always the question. Like most people have an obvious answer. Follow the money, people. Follow the money. It always leads to the greedy bastard that don't care about you. Who talks about money more than anything rather than the people? The government. Well, look what they've done over here to Fraser Island, Calgary. That poor dingo on the beach over here is capping it from the flower of death. Look, boom, 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 boom. Infrasonic undulations, sound waves, shock waves going through the water. They're torturing the baby whales. Torturing them. Feeling me yet? Sonic creatures, man. They communicate with sound. Sound waves in the ocean is the symphony of the animals. And we're contaminating it. We're hitting bad notes. We are the cacophony in their symphony. You know, that warming up sounds that you get? A lot of microwaves right there in the top deck. Yeah, you've been bombed and bombed. Now, just so I don't get all upset, let's go right to some of the action that you can expect today. Over the last 24 hours, you've seen a lot of evidence of microwaves down here. And a lot of people have showed me shots of other radar sites, so you can take my word sometimes. Or go luck. Right, this big line of storms here was rather dangerous, and it's not over yet. It's still well bound up. I'm going to actually put it out to the 1 hour. Ooh, Tarago. Uh-oh, what did I do? Back. There we go. Yeah, this is supposed to be what's actually going on. What's going on? Do. Radiation underground. You fucking fracking bastards gonna kill your own damn asses. You keep fracking that damn your groundwater. You end up like the Dakotas where you got flames coming out the tap. My son's house had that problem. Yep. And my grandson drinking poison water. I ain't a grumpy grandpa, I'm a cantankerous cunt. Know the difference. Look at this wind of mellow. Boy, did you guys get it. And it just flares right up over this valley. Here. There'll be some mountains that's condensating and hemming them up a bit. Well, let's see what just caused this. Let's see if we got any big microwaves down here, perhaps. Yes. Okay, so the force to flow butts into these waves of energy. And the condensates will collide and get bigger and fall. Or they could change the frequency and coalesce the droplets to be bigger. But this beam line here sets the tone. It's just going to sweep the rest of that over. It's going to sweep it right in there with that whistling sound. It looks like we got a big action from Hobart as well as fired. You don't really see any tickles down here. It's running. Motherfucker running like diarrhea. Look at that. Look at that beam going all the way up there, doing what it's designed. The JAR network. I don't think it burned a missile out of the atmosphere that day, but it's burning up the freaking heating. It's burning up the molecules, and it's burning my freaking gears up just knowing. Hey, what's coming for these folks here, and these storms are going to be rather destructive today as they come across these mountains and hem up in the trough, giving you some totals up to about through here. Okay, so let's continue to wall. Okay, some of this beautiful beam footage as we get some action So this cell here is going to start to dissipate when it runs into this Wiseman Ferries line here. You see microwave is on over here. It's going to affect this storm. It's going to want to slide through this corridor here. It's going to split. So if a beam shoots out for this in the next hour, it'll cut that. That should dissipate to the north, and that should begin to rotate to be one of your nighttime lightning bringers. So look west if you're over here. You're going to have a hell of a show. Right, Clarestown, Nelson Bay, typical. Once that goes by, it looks like you guys got about, let's have a peek. Have you been bombed? Yeah, it looks like you got a night of it, because you got all this crap back here that still's got to come over the top of you. Right, all these bombs that they blowed up. And look at this microwave Wi-Fi looking symbol here. It didn't condensate. That was that one I was telling you. I seen something kind of near Sydney. That was odd until the bombs get in it, right? To give the particles. They used to say dust particles, but you know, nano dust is man-made. Preformed particles is the wording they use in the Paris Agreement and other research programs. So these preformed particles will enter the field of perturbation, or the up and down motion of the waveform, and it'll kick out this form. The bomb goes off, the catalysts are now fresh and in the air, and they sail through the microwaves, and they give that telltale sign right there. That wouldn't have been no individual trail being drawn amidst microwaves right there. Even it wasn't that long ago. It was 1 hour and 21 minutes ago. We'll get a screenshot of that. Look at all the bombs out here. Here's a very obvious deployment. See the percussion ring going out on the outside? We used to have to write our little smileys and stuff. We put parentheses around them. That looks like the ain't the ass one. It does. So you would draw an ass. See all the bombs around the center point of this one? It's as zoomed as I can get on you. Actually, I'm looking for just a tickle mark. It's just a tickle. So we're looking at this deployment of chemical catalysts to modify the weather here over Australia today. See the bombs? And it just seems like this type deployment is wanted in that one spot, because I keep seeing it redone. Boom, 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 boom. That was like 9:30 on the clock. It was deployed at 9:30. No, it wasn't. That would have just been the sarcasm of me. Look at these lines right here, like a JB. Somebody's getting a jab going on. You're getting their money while you're getting the old wazoo packed full of chem nanoparticles. How kind of our oppressors. Now, if we look off the coast here, now I'm going to speed this up. Well, not much more than that. You'll see the beam of Newcastle interacts with a straight line flow. This should have come all the way in across the mountains with a big wind and interacted with that there. But it's been held off for some reason. They're not wanting you to get the rain in some spots. They're wanting the flow to direct a certain way out to sea. So it blends with perfect timing with what's coming across. And they're just now going to start to let this low across. You could just start to see you're letting it creep. But until that little dot there circulation moves, you won't get the full flow of this coming across to you, and it should happen in the next couple hours. They'll turn that beam off here, and then it's free to move. At the same time, you got like 5 different forced flows of folding going on here. This is being folded right now as it butts into this piece here that's moving very fast. You see it. You see the fold move here. Right, this is bashing into that, which is running into that. We got an electric line drawn down here from low-level chem bombs. A principle known as ducting becomes and if it's a different chemical in thickness, it's got a different viscosity, and we will have to think about the viscosities of mixes. You see, all this should be going down, but yet that one went north. Watch it shoots up. See, it went up. Yeah, from a bomb to a plume. The plumes came to meet each other. See? Ain't that pants? Chem-Bam, triple formation here, bunch of all over this beautiful country. You people have been chemically attacked with a curtain of chemicals. Boom, 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 go the plumes. Boom, 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 ba-da-da, boom, 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 ba-da-da, boom, boom, boom. Nation coming to a nation near you. Boom, ba-da-da, boom. If I don't do those little lumps, they flag my video. Suddenly I've changed it. Now this field of microwaves here is holding off these two masses. Is that obvious to you? And it's curling down into a toroid. You can just see the particles descending into this deck of stuff to be stirred into the mixer, the shit mixer, if you will. How many different directions of flow do you have in this one spot? It'd be the world's biggest water spout. Pink Floyd's Haber's marching on over here. Really. Somewhere out there, you know you can find a Schwab sticker. Yeah, this isn't focused enough yet. Focus, I say. Whole fields of bombs going off. Let me let that do its dizzying rotations there. And we'll look. So we got here down in this one spot. If you look in between the gaps, this one is just trying to move with that mass, and it's being held up. See it on the low deck? It's trying, but it can't. So the microwaves have heated it up. Heated air, and this is rotating in this direction, in this hemisphere. Anticyclonic. Here you get a bunch of different waveforms meeting at different curves, with lots of bombs going there, right? Nucleating the mass of microwaves so that you can see them. And giving something to make into a plasma state. You can't have plasma without the particles or something to make that happen. Or you just be going, energy will just go until it interacts with something, gets it excited enough to release photons. That's another way of plasma. Somebody says the wind in Victoria is strong and a bit fresh. Does it smack you? Is it fresh? Oh, you're fresh air. Well, let's look. Hi, Vic. How you doing? Oh. Yeah, you pick a spot. Pick your poison. Where do you want to see it? Do you want to see the microwaves with the bomb field here? Or do you want to see this big clusterfuck here? Or about that big loopiness here? There's more chem bombs here than you can shake a stick at. Dang sure need to take a switch to whoever's doing this. Yeah, these are the bombs going into the microwaves here. Yes, toxic air alert for Australia. A big streaming chemtrail just goes up there, wrong direction. Everything's flowing. Come on, people. Evenly spaced jets of cloud. Come on, Dutch Sense. You can steal that homework too. Come on. Boom, 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 plum, plum. Yeah, you see him? See the chem bombs? Is it any more obvious than that? It's not much of a victory for Vic, because Dan the Glen is allowing this in your skies, or whoever numbnut you got in there now. Boom, boom, boom. Or are they advertising Valentine, or is that the devil symbol we often seen in the Led Zeppelin? I love my Zeppelin and all, but I recognize the symbology quite well. The seven with the king crowd. Hey, the Latin Kings, man, you've been graffiti in the sky. You finally did it. Or maybe somebody did that on the dome. Oh, no, it's moving by. It's a chem bomb. Either that or somebody's bending over and farming and they're really big. See all the little bam, boom, 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 little loopies there? Or did you have a pilot flying crazy? Or is that just like a person's face looking geo-sculpting? Somebody's using a laser drawing a picture of their mother. They're not drawing a picture of our mother. They want to draw a picture of our mother. All they got to do is draw a smile. And because that's all she wants to do for us. But look what we do for our mother. We trash her shores. We litter on the sidewalks, and we drive vehicles that leak oil that's toxic. We do things for our own comfort that discomfort other things. It's not cool, man. It's not cool at all to have that attitude. Francie would give the two thumbs down. Whoa. My God, look at this field of stuff over here, over these beautiful reefy areas. Center point of emanation, boom, 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 flown. Chemical attack. Chemical attack, pilot a chem bombardier, pilot a chem bombardier, there's clear air over there, we need a chem bomb over here, now over here and over here, blow them up, blow them up. Yep, hey, give them some fallout until they fall and drip and fire for getting sick from work and all these other things, and don't change yourself to a system that change you to itself. Only you can cut your chains or realize you ain't getting it. See the waveform headed north through all these cloud masses? I'll go a little slower. It's going, it's rumbling. Thank you, Newcastle. You know, all the fish down underneath all these waveforms and all that. They're really so happy with the missile defense system, military industrial complex, that has turned its war on the people and the plants and animals and all life on this world. The scorched earth policy is well evident in the assets that are in the rains right now. Low sixes, very low sixes, 6.1, 6.2 is it's bad for frog spawn. When you start losing any little bit of that food chain, and we're broken. If you're selfish enough to worry about your own food versus theirs, or blocking all this sunlight here over beautiful forests, which are the lungs of the world. I don't like this chembomb just destroying those lungs. And they clean our air. Their barks trap particulates that then fall off onto the ground. Their leaves feed that tree. And if we take the sunlight away, how are they going to photosynthesize? How are they going to take carbon dioxide out of the air and release oxygen for us? How can we allow big pools of chemicals from fracking to evaporate openly, which causes methane plumes to rise? And then what do they blame the methane on? The farmers in the area from the land that they stole to frack on. But the methane plumes from and other things that evaporate from those ponds are very toxic for all life. Boom. How many directions of the wind there, you know? They got the V here and then there and there, and then that thing that very obviously puts the dot in the center. Boom. Was it Star Trek? Is that the wishbone? And they pull in one side. This guy won. That one last. This isn't a game. This life we play. You only get one shot at it. What's your legacy? Is it a big leg over see? Or are you worried about getting your leg over? My God, this is so blatant. I'm going to roll your forecast through here a bit. Yes, there's some inundations and a big lightning going on across the trough areas and the works and all that. You'll see, but the microwave beam has clearly caused a path to form. That's going to limit the line of showers. So I'm going to zoom back here, have a sip off my drink. I'll put the whole scrotation of the ant sac right there in front of all your eyes and have a look. And good day, all y'all. Hello, Flower and Sarah and Sally and Andrew and Sean. Yeah, good day, Sean. And no wonder we're all getting unwell. Well, only we can dis our ease and only we can undis it, you know. They told you to put a mask on for an invisible thing called being healthy, or asymptomaticism, you know, causing hypochondritis in people, obviously. So see these nice days of break you're getting down here? Enjoy them. Right from about there, man. Yay, here it comes, though. They sending a big batch towards you. And when that hits you, you're going to get clobbered. That's a clobber. And their totals are too low. It's a big band coming your way. And then the Kiwi takes a drink. Right about there's your smackaroo time. The totals are too low. Hey, so we're going to watch this closely. I'm not backing down. But then as we head into a couple days of nicenesses behind that, yeah, you'll see. It should. All the pressures say so. So if that changes, I'll be checked. Right in there. And a couple of days of niceness after they swelled the streams and killed your dreams and bombed your lungs until you screamed. Until you screamed. You better start screaming. Were you waiting to vote someone in to use the voice for you? What's their voice gonna do? What their master says. You better wake up. A referendum can be rewritten and re-put out. The referendum for the Brexit has never ever stopped. Referendums ain't shit. Referendums are lawyers telling them what loopholes to close. And yes, thank God, they're going to have to do that again, ain't they? But if your whole country's a legal constitution and you're worried about a bill being unconstitutional, you know what? They're taking their daily constitutional right on top of your head. In a military way, they are taking the giant shit on you. And it's unacceptable. Bit of action there coming for the Vanuatu corridor about that day, but all that tendril should be going that way. I'm not even concerned about it. Not even concerned about it. People in Vanuatu are, so I'll update your totals right now. It's not pleasant to show you these. As they move in these tendrils over, let's just say Luganville and Portville, I can say that. Oh my. Yeah, some heavy totals coming your way. 7 centimeters. These corridors along the coastline, you're looking at about 2 to 3 centimeters over the next 36 to 48 hours. Most of it in a slide corridor right through the trough that they created with the microwave. Right through here. You'll see this line. I always have a reason for everything I say. Right, here's your rain corridor. Right through here. This volatile line here will pick up some because there'll be a small vortex will form. Shaping the mountains when it drifts in some of these passes is what's letting a lot of this through. So watch out for some very dangerous storms. When they cut that tendril, it snaps in that way. It snaps back that way, so you'll get some action. It's fluid action. The beam across the coast is pinless. If that could have flowed out to sea, it won't. So you'll get a toroid just keeps kicking out moisture, and so you're gonna get some heavies here and here. So let's have a quick look at some of the totals to be expected. I'm fairly in agreement with this one here for the 8 centimeters on the 10s. Yeah, and it's just fairly steady action for you as they butt these storms and drive them south. You've had some of your totals already through here. That's too low. I'm going to keep you up about 8. 8 on the 10s here still left to come. Wow. You hear some new snow coming, have you? Isn't that nice to see in the springtime? But when it comes to geoengineering, every season could come every day. All of it. Rabbit season, duck season, wolf child season. Really, what a shame. I'd like to take a moment to thank everybody for the outpouring of kindness. I wasn't expecting anything to really be made for me to come see you all, or fundings or anything, and I really, really am very, very grateful for such kind efforts of people. Look how square this is in the center. Now I'm going to do a quick world view. I'm going to cover the whole planet. As much of it as we can see. Looks like the sun's overhead is about down here right now. As they head toward winter, that will go further down this way. Yeah, it's at the tilt, Visible evidence of it. Hey, look, the Packer cloud. This thing has been absolutely worrying everybody in Europe to death. The big spinners that have been going on out here. It's eventually coming in here. Right? They've made the corridor for it. Right? It forces it over to land. Oh my God, look at the guilt here. How many chemtrails can you count? Even Count on Sesame Street would pass on that episode. Get tired. Different colors of refracted light caused by the chemical catalyst. Almost like one of those daytime firework pictures. brushstroked out by our oppressors who do not want you to see things. Notsee, Nazis. You are being ruled by Nazis who do not want you to see after people don't freaking see because they're too busy looking at their phones, learning what to want next. They're poisoning your wine. There's laws against that from the Appalachian Contrôle. Use them. They're poisoning your wine with sulfur, sulfuric acid on the wine. On de plomb. Come on, France, use your fucking laws. They're already there. I've been asking for that for years. But if I suggest it, I guess it's a bad thing, according to other people. Fuck off with that attitude. Just because you missed the pond, you can't give a forecast for fuck all shit without stealing mine. Look at these chemtrails here. Look at this. These are chemtrails, these are chem bombs, and whether you believe in them or not, they could kill you anyhow. How do you feel about that? I think it sucks. That's how I feel about it. Whether I'm looking over here at this toxified microwaved air over here over Turkey, or I shoot out over the Aegean over here to Greece, and they just got shitted at. You are not changing the climate by anything you're doing. The climate is being forced and modified to do as wanted, when wanted, how wanted. Whether it's flood out an area here in India so a land grab can occur for minerals and gold and whatever else, or the death and sickness of people so they can be endlessly treated in a ward in a hospital. Never one that's called a curing ward. Do they have curing wards in hospitals? No. It's endless treatments. It's the perpetual bad mechanic overcharging you and not fixing your shit fully so you could come back in again and again. This is a terrible deployments I've seen across the planet today. This is our mother, you know. These chem bombs here get held aloft, eventually make it over to Australia and the southern oceans. Makes you come right on down towards you. The totals coming along these coastline area here's on the 10s are again ungodly. 40 centimeters to a half a meter on the 10s coming over here through Thailand and some of these spots. Right? These poor folks. These are harvest times. The only thing I see being harvested on this planet is people's energy, like batteries. I think Morpheus had it right. Be careful what you put your energy to. I'm applying my energy towards a toxin-free planet where the winds of blame go out the window. The winds of solutions, they start happening. And that'll be the day that the winds will blow clean and crystal clear. And I won't see the areas where the first flights took place covered in pollution, covered in chemtrail, chem bomb, microwave nucleated chem bombs, toxins over the Gulf Stream waters, major fishery of the world, where other fish eat other fish. You know, there was a spot here that just happened to need a chemtrail, you know, all on its own. Just, hi, have it. Have it, have it, have it, have it. Will this be the last spring eyes where you hear the chirping of the baby birds? You better start to think about stuff like that, because when stuff like this can be made, aimed, sustained, and come take your house away, you know that the toys are in the hands of the wrong people, and life is not a game. We all must look at this earth, and for our mother's sake, no more. No more. We are not the system's heart. Big love. Stay safe. Peace.